Is this making a comeback? Is Nintendo going to release a classic edition of the N64, one of the greatest consoles ever made? Maybe. Let's discuss. I was browsing Twitter today and I came across a Mashable article that points to a NeoGAF post called Nintendo Files Trademark Application for N64 Controller and More. The post by Roasty or Rosty says, on July 18th, Nintendo filed in Europe via the European Union Intellectual Property Office 4 figurative trademark applications related to various game controllers. The applications are for a Nintendo 64 controller, an NES controller, a Super NES controller, and a Switch controller. So we've got the NES Classic, this $60 super elusive, now discontinued classic gaming machine that came in this box. And on the top of the box, it says Classics under an NES controller. The Super NES Classic Edition is coming in September. And look at the box. On the top, it says Classics, and there's a photo of a Super Nintendo controller. The photos on these boxes are basically identical to the photos in the patent applications. So does this mean that we're getting an N64 Classic Edition? I don't know. However, based on what I just showed you, it seems likely. And look, I think before the NES Classic Edition came out, none of us would have ever thought that Nintendo would have done something incredible like this. And now the SNES is coming out. So I'm hoping that we get an N64 Classic Edition. Also, I have no idea what that Switch photo means. Companies trademark and patent things all the time, and plenty of those things never see the light of day. If this pans out to be true, and we do in fact get a classic edition of the N64 shrunk down into something like this, here's what I hope for. For starters, look at how long the N64 cord is for the controller in comparison to the 3 feet of wire that Nintendo gave us on the NES Classic. The Super Nintendo Classic has 5-foot cables. I really hope that the N64 Classic, if it comes out, has longer than 5 feet cables. Why, Nintendo? Seeing as both the NES and the SNES Classic are powered by micro USB and connect to your TV over HDMI, I think the N64 Classic Edition will do the same. The NES Classic Edition only came with 1 controller. The SNES is gonna ship with 2. I really hope the N64 also ships with 2, because there are so many good multiplayer games to play. Speaking of games, here's what I want to see. Obviously Super Smash Bros. Obviously Mario Kart 64. At least one of the Mario parties. Banjo-Kazooie. They've got to throw in a Mortal Kombat. I think Star Fox 64 is a no-brainer considering we're getting Star Fox 2 on the SNES Classic. Yes! And of course GoldenEye, because RCP90s and the Golden Gun, like, come on. Again, I can't confirm that we'll ever see an N64 Classic Edition, but I really, really do hope we do, and I think that based on what we just talked about, it's definitely possible. Is it likely? Yeah, I'd say so. So now that you made it to the end of the video, I want you to comment down below, what do you think? Is this thing actually gonna come out? And if you do think it's coming out, let me know what games you wanna see included. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave it a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one.